Welcome back to the channel WDosh, where today I have a deck for you. This deck has gone mostly undefeated. I got defeated actually by my friend using a joke deck, surprisingly. Got some pretty bad luck, though he did put it pretty well to be fair. But besides that, no one has beaten this deck, and I have beaten a couple of Ultimate League people with this deck. It's relatively new, but still, it's played quite a few games. And basically, it's a control deck with Immorticia, and I know she's not the best for control, but you'd be surprised. Beastly is a surprisingly good class. And Alien Ooze, well, it isn't exactly cost efficient, is amazing at removing, because it doesn't need to be a -6/-6. Like, obviously it's good to get your environments down for guaranteed basically hard removal, especially if you play this and it's -7/-7. But overall, -2/-2 is usually enough, at least for small removal. You can get rid of stuff like wild berries, you can get rid of stuff like snow peas, podfathers, anything that you really want to get rid of, like, you'd really need to get rid of in the early game. You got some Moonwalkers just for tempo, like, kind of putting some pressure on him. It is a control deck, not a tempo deck, but you need to put something on the board, especially because you got Maniacal and I'm running 3 Hover Goats, so it needs something. They need something to buff and all that. And that's just a very solid card that's very hard to take off the board. It's a 3/4/4 basically. It's really, really good at what it does. Now, Medulla Nebula, I would have run 4 of these and like taken some other cards out in the deck. Maybe maybe take out another Beam Me like I recently did to put in the Octo, or maybe take out one of the Hover Goats. But the thing is that now it's been nerfed. Medulla Nebula is still worth it. In some decks, they're not useful anymore, but in this deck, it's still useful. Mainly because of Cosmic Yeti. Cosmic Yeti is amazing card draw, and the pet pool is amazing. It has so many super rares, legendaries, and events that you can get. And, like, it's normal for me to get a legendary or event from this. You can get Octo Zombie from this, you can get Space Cowboy from this, you can get Sharktronic Sub from this, you can get, and most of the legendaries are also pretty good, as you could hear. So, most of the pet legendaries, so it's really effective at what it does. Even if you get something like Cat Lady, that's a Cat Lady with attack, and you can keep putting this on the board, so it's basically a permanent 4/5, which is amazing for a 1 cost. Anyway, so every time this bounces itself, it means that you can put the Medulla Nebula gets freed up again. So this is basically a 1 cost if you had this down that draws you a card and is a 3/3 on its own. It's a really, really good card that is basically weak to nothing except for Berry Blast. It can be hammered, but that's not usually worth it. Well, it is worth it because, you know, hammer costs 3 and this costs 4, but people rarely do it because there's usually better targets. So yeah, this deck does pretty well. The only thing with this deck that I'd say is Trickster and Bad Moon Rising are not ideal finishers. I'm mainly running them because obviously I don't have that many legendaries. Well, I say that, I'm starting to get quite a few now. So soon I should be able to build up a bit of a collection of legendaries and actually make some like decks that are based around legendaries if I'm lucky enough. But the thing is that Bad Moon Rising is an inconsistent finisher. If you have any more Octo Zombies, any more Nurses, any more Zombots, even Zombots, even though they're not the best finishers, you should probably replace Bad Moon with that, because there aren't many cards to put on the board here. Trickster is the other one to replace, because while this is a very trick-heavy deck, it kind of feels out of place here. You might want to keep it, just because of the amount of tricks here. Yeah, and finally, Regifting Zombie is in here, because you want as many cards as possible. The more cards you have, the less likely it is for you to not have a card to stop your opponent. And also, the faster you can draw your finishes if you just so happen to get all your control cards and no finishes. So if you do get finishes from the beginning, you can recycle them straight away and still be confident that you can get them later on. It does give your opponents cards, but usually those cards, they'll just throw them away straight away again as you use your control cards to battle theirs. So now that the ranks have reset, I'm going to have my first game back in Gold League with this deck. I did say I was thinking about, oh wow, rank 10. Well, to be fair, that means they were probably in Diamond League and got kicked back. So this is a fair enough matchup. Rising. Oh, come on, there's only 2 in the deck. That is a, what, 5% of 5%. So that's a 0.25% chance. Or 1 in... I don't even know. Oh, come on! This is not going to be a good example of the deck. That's my worst starting power too. I couldn't have got a worse hand if I tried. Oh my god. Even Acid Rain, because it's Solar Flare, who will like have sunflowers and mushrooms to start with. Even Acid Rain would have been better. Okay, Trickster, fair enough, because you know, if we have it earlier, that means it starts getting cheaper quicker. So you know what, I'm not too mad about Trickster, although obviously I want my control cards. This guy's playing slow though, which is good, because that gives us time to fill up our hand. And there we go, we got a nice mulligan card here. I don't have any one-drop minions, so I can only get one-drop crit. That's why I passed right then. I think Nibble, and I don't think I have teleport in this. I've already forgotten. Nibble, and I feel like I had another one-cost trick. It might have just been Nibble. So I think Nibble's the only thing in this deck that fits that description. I don't mind if you get banana bombs. I guess obviously they don't know that. Oh, and there's Nibble. Thanks, game. Right, we've already got a full hand, so we don't need to do any more card draw. Luckily, we don't have a Cosmic Yeti in hand right now. And I wouldn't usually be saying that. We've got both our bad Risings. Was there 3 in the deck? I remember that when I recently just edited it, and there was 3 when I edited it. And I don't remember if I took one out now, and it's kind of nagging me. I'm pretty sure I did. Right, there goes a trick. We're down to 9 cost on here. And we've got a whole lot of tricks here. Yeah, that's not worth playing. We're looking at Ooze now. B flat maybe. Nibble and B flat. If they play something big, they play... I mean, it's not likely, but they could play like Smashing Pumpkin. Oh, wow! They have Reincarnation! Okay, this is a good play then. I hate to do that when there isn't any healing to be had, but in that case, in a control deck it's usually a little bit better to do it. In other decks, not usually. It's a bit worse to do it in other decks. Right, so hopefully we can use our Alien News here. Then we can play this next turn and have one left. If they play something massive... Don't know what happened there. If we play something massive, like with more than 6 health, then I could like hit it with this and then evaporate. Unlikely circumstance, but still. Just a chance of Trickster. She hasn't been playing any big threats yet, and if she has any big threats, we're getting into our big threats too, so we'll have a big threat to come back with. You know what? Call me crazy, but I don't feel like Trickster's the right play here. Oh, I was going to Hover Goat, but this seems better. This still could be Hammered or Berry Blasted now, and I'm guessing this person's doing Control Flare because they've been playing very slow. Yeah, there's Hammer. Well, our hand's full enough as it is, so I'm not too bothered. If they play anything to the right of that, that'd be great. That was pretty optimistic. I mean, if they thought that through, if that came from Cosmic Yeti, which, you know, it did, it wasn't guaranteed, but it was likely, then it would get +1/+1, and even if it had 1 health, it would gain 2. Not thinking it through. Right, well now, well, I guess we should draw cards first. It's just general turn order, isn't it? Play order, isn't it? Nah, nothing really here that makes me think I should stop. Yep, there we go. Boop! We haven't got hurt yet. They're at 9 suns, so that's probably about to change. I'm guessing they have a Cornucopia in hand. Which is why I'm holding on to my Nurse Garg. Because if they get something ridiculous like Great Zucchini from Cornucopia, I'll be fine. That's pointless, it's going to die anyway. The lava will kill it anyway. What? Are they just trying to show off? Well, it stops us from using our Bad Moon Risings. They're really clogging our hand. Ah. No, I can't quite play that yet, really, but... Can't really play anything yet, really. I almost think I should just use a Bad Moon Rising just to get it out of my hand. Yeah, there's not really much of a zoo aspect to the... Oh, wait. There's the Cornucopia. Oh, wow. Lucky. 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 I mean, I say that, they got Pair Pal and Invasive Species, but at the same time, I don't usually get cornucopias as good at these. If you've watched Fry and you ever see that if Fry plays a cornucopia and it's got like weenie beanies and water chestnuts, that's genuinely what I get all the time. Like, it's not me exaggerating it for comedic effect, that is actually what I get. Right, so, just fingers crossed. Here comes another squash, though. I bet you. But there's nothing else we can do. Oh, they're mulliganing for squashes, I think. I hope that's it. I think that's the mulliganing for squashes. Please don't have one. Man, this I'm gonna get destroyed by this deck again. Oh! Lawnmowers, no! No! That lucky cornucopia, though. They got us down so much health. Like, if they got anything but Greats of Wrath, destroying it would have prevented all the damage. My god. 2 losses in a row. Because the last game I played was the one that I lost against my friend with the joke deck. I don't know what's going on here. Actually, I should stop this video. I'm going to give this deck another go, but in the next one. But, like, that was bad. Like, I hope you can at least see how the deck works. It didn't work there, which really surprised me, like in every single other game I've had with this deck, I've been dominating, and I've won, like, quite a few 20-0, and as I said, I beat Ultimate League people with this. And now I'm just kind of losing to, like, normal kind of players. I guess, again, it was a pretty lucky cornucopia, but still. Well, I guess I'll see you in the next one.